Senate will come to order. Mr. Schaffler, please call the roll.
Senators Amabile, Baisley, Ball, Bridges, Bright, Carson, Catlin, Cutter, Danielson, Doherty, Exum, Frizzell, Gonzalez, Hendrickson, Judah, Kip, Kirkmeyer, Colker, Liston, Lundeen, Marchman, Michelson Genet, Mullica, Belton B, Belton R, Rich, Roberts, Rodriguez, Simpson, Snyder, Sullivan, Weissman, Winter, City District 17 vacant.
I'm going to have to type it in. The user. Schaffler will get it. I'm sorry I didn't say that earlier. That's my fault. That's on me. We're a team.
Mr. President,
Let's do this. The morning roll call is 34 present, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant. We have a quorum. Senator Weissman, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Morning members, please join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the journal. Senator Baisley.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that the Senate Journal of February 28, 2025 be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Nah, man. That was good, just the way it was. All those opposed, no. No. There we go, but yet and still the ayes have it, and that motion is adopted. Senate Services.
correctly printed Senate Bill 186, correctly engrossed Senate Bill 133 and 146, correctly re-engrossed Senate Bill 79, correctly revised House Bill 1053 and 1084, correctly re-revised House Bill 1050, 1081, and 1129.
Message from the House.
The House has passed on third reading and transmitted to the Reviser of Statutes House Bill 1151, amended as printed in House Journal February 26, 2025. The House has passed on third reading and transmitted to the Reviser of Statutes House Bill 1060, amended as printed in House Journal February 27, 2025, and amended on third reading as printed in House Journal February 28, 2025. The House has passed on third reading and transmitted to the Reviser of Statutes House Bill 1226, amended as printed in House Journal February 27, 2025. The House has passed on third reading and transmitted to the Reviser of Statutes House Bill 1172. The House has passed on third reading and returns herewith Senate Bill 38, Senate Bill 52. The House has voted to concur in Senate amendments to House Bill 1002 and has repassed the bill as amended. The House has voted to concur in Senate amendments to House Bill 1030 and has repassed the bill as amended.
Message from the Reviser.
We herewith transmit without comment House Bill 1172, without comment as amended House Bill 1060, 1151, and 1226.
Third reading of bills, consent calendar. Mr. Schaffler, please read the titles of all the bills on the consent calendar.
Senate Bill 133 by Senator Snyder and Carson and Representatives Soper and Camacho concerning voidable transactions and in connection herewith, updating the Colorado Uniform Fraudulent Transfers Act and renaming it the Colorado Voidable Transactions Act. House Bill 1053 by Representatives Morrow and Weinberg and Senators Marchman and Baisley concerning limited immunity from civil liability for landowners who allow access to their property for entry and exit in connection with an emergency. House Bill 1084 by Representatives McCormick and Senator Marchman and Simpson concerning the substitution of gender-neutral language for gendered language in Title 35 of the Colorado Revised Statutes.
Julie Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the passage of all the bills on third reading of bills final passage consent calendar, which are Senate Bill 133, House Bill 1053, and House Bill 1084.
Any discussion on any of the bills? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of all the bills on third reading of the bills consent calendar. Are there any no votes? Senator Rich.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wish to be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1084.
Senator Rich will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1084. Senator Baisley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 133 and House Bill 1084.
Senator Baisley will be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 133 and House Bill 1084. Any additional no votes? Seeing none, with a vote of 33 ayes, 1 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 133 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Roberts, with a vote of 34 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant, House Bill 1053 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Roberts, Bridges. 1053, co-sponsors, Pelton B., Amabile, Catlin, Kirkmeyer, Frizzell, Pelton R., Liston, Exum, Cutter, Kipp, Michelson Janae, Judah, with a vote of 32 ayes, 2 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant, House Bill 1084 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Bridges, Michelson Janae, Kipp, Winter, third reading of bills. Final passage. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 146.
Go ahead.
Senate Bill 146 by Senators Rich and Michelson Janae and Representatives Hartsook and Lukens concerning alignment of fingerprint-based criminal history record check laws with federal requirements.
Senator Michelson Janae.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 146 on third reading and final passage.
Any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 146. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, 1 vacant, Senate Bill 146 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senator Catlin. Senator Rich is happy that there's no votes. Senator Sullivan is a co-sponsor. Senator Ball. Liston. General orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate resolve itself to the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. And the motion is adopted. The Senate will resolve itself in committee of the whole consideration general order segment of the bills. Consent calendar, Senator Bridges will take the chair.
The committee will come to order, and the code rule is not relaxed. Majority Leader, will the clerk please read the title of all the bills on the consent calendar?
Senate Bill 170 by Senators Amabile and Kirkmeyer and Representatives Byrd and Sirota concerning a state-funded response to genetic testing backlogs. Senate Bill 180 by Senators Kirkmeyer and Amabile and Representatives Taggart and Sirota concerning the method of calculating state population growth for purposes of calculating state fiscal year spending pursuant to Section 20 of Article 10 of the state constitution. House Bill 1077 by Representatives Leader and Ricks and Senators Roberts and Rich concerning requirements for individuals who work on backflow prevention devices and in connection therewith removing the licensure requirement for individuals who inspect, test, or repair the devices.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move for the passage of all the bills on general order second reading of bills consent calendar, which is Senate Bill 170, Senate Bill 180, House Bill 1077, and there are no committee reports.
Is there any discussion of any of the bills in the consent calendar? Seeing none, the motion before us is the adoption of all of the bills on the general order second reading of bills consent calendar. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it, and the bills are adopted. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion is for the committee to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. The committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come to order. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
March 3rd, 2025. Mr. President, your committee of the whole begs leave to report it has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 170 with Senate Bill 180 passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1077 passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Cow report.
The motion is the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, 1 vacant, the committee of the whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 170, Senate Bill 180 passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the counter for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1077 passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the counter for third reading and final passage. General orders. Second reading of the bills. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the committee resolve itself, the committee of the whole, move the Senate resolve itself, the committee of the whole consideration of general orders, second reading of bills.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The Senate will resolve itself, committee of the whole consideration, general order, second reading of bills, and Senator Bridges will take the chair.
The committee will come to order, and the code rule is relaxed for everybody. Mr. Majority Leader. Gotta read the bill. You can lay it over. Will the clerk please read the title to House Bill 1029?
House Bill 1029 by Representatives Basnicker and Kipp and concerning the scope of municipal authority over land that a municipality acquires that is outside its municipal limits.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move to lay over House Bill 1029 for one day to Tuesday, March the 4th.
Motion is to lay over House Bill 1029 for one day. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. That bill will lay over. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 58?
Senate Bill 58 by Senator Snyder concerning a model act to provide a framework that allows insurance companies to give rebates that meet specified criteria to maintain consumer protections.
Senator Snyder.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move Senate Bill 58 and the Health and Human Services Committee report.
To the committee report, is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion before us is... Senator Snyder.
I have an amendment to the committee report.
Yeah. There is no... Senator Snyder, there are no settled questions here in the Senate. Senator Snyder, seeing no discussion, the question before us is the adoption of the Health and Human Services Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. That committee report is adopted. To the bill, I have a feeling there's an amendment coming to the desk.
I have an amendment, L002, to the committee report.
There is an amendment at the desk. Will the clerk please read L002?
Amendment L002, amend the Health and
Senator
Human
Snyder.
Services.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So actually, in committee, we did a strike below. We were using the Insurance Rebate Reform Model Act, and after consulting with DOI and other stakeholders, we decided to go with the NAIC model, which means we only have to insert language into the existing Title 18 chapter and not replace it. Unfortunately, DOI was not able to attend the committee hearing, but they have brought forth an amendment here that we're discussing. It basically clarifies their rulemaking authority in this space, and specifically it talks about lotteries as a mechanism, and requires that the insurance company notify and get approval from the division for a testing pilot program. They have 30 days to respond to that. So I would ask for an aye vote on L002.
Any further discussion of L002? Seeing none, the motion before us is the adoption of L002. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. L002 is adopted. To the bill, is there any discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is a good bill. This is a consumer protection bill. It's in the Deceptive Trade Practices Act section. It really puts a lot of guardrails in place. We don't want people buying insurance policies under false pretenses or using false incentives to do that. It's really a balanced bill, well stakeholdered, and I would ask for your yes vote.
Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the good senator from Colorado Springs, El Paso County, could you possibly kind of give us an example of what you're talking about under the bill, as to so we can get a better grasp of it? If you would, I would appreciate that.
Senator Snyder.
Thank you. I'd be happy to. One of the provisions of this bill is that the insurance product being sold, the incentive program, has to be reasonably related to that type of insurance. So a good example would be Ting. They make a product that plugs in electrical outlets and detects potential issuing like arcing, which could lead to fires. This product detects electrical anomalies in resolving this, and so it's a perfect fit, I think, for the homeowners' property and casualty policies. ADT, the alarm company, provides free alarm and monitoring equipment for policyholders at a discount going on the monitoring fees. This helps the home and it protects the home and includes water monitors to protect the home from water damage. So those are two examples.
Senator Liston, and just as a reminder, please speak into the mic.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
So would there be any examples of like a homeowner, or their automobile, if they're a good, safe driver, do they already get discounts? Or if they had proven that they had, they had an exemplary record, something along those lines, would there be other inducements from the insurance companies that you're
Senator
aware of?
Snyder.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Excellent question. Most of these insurance discounts that you get for safe driver, what have you, already exist. So this is really talking about products that are offered as an incentive to get the insurance product. You cannot tell them that your premiums will be lower because of it. So I don't think that would exactly qualify in this case, because we really don't want in any way for the consumer to be confused with the premium on an insurance policy with the products that they're offering as an inducement.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just a shout out to the Colorado channel. I haven't seen them use that camera before, so new angle that we're getting today. All right, is there any further discussion of Senate Bill 58? Seeing none, the motion before us is the adoption of Senate Bill 58. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. Senate Bill 58 is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of Senate Bill 87?
Senate Bill 87 by Senator Marchman, Representative Stewart, and Brooks concerning establishing academic adjustments for students with disabilities in institutions of higher education.
Senator Marchman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move SB 87 and the Education Committee report.
Is there any discussion of the Education Committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the committee report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The aye has it, and that report is adopted. To the bill, any discussion? Senator Marchman. There is an amendment at the desk. Will the clerk please read L004?
Amendment L004, amend the Education Committee report
Senator
dated
Marchman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move L004 to Senate Bill 87.
To the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. After committee, our bill drafter, Ms. Rosen, found two technical errors. One was plural, and it should have been singular, and one was missing a word voluntarily. So with that, I would urge your support of the technical amendment.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of L004. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it, and that amendment is adopted. To the bill, Senator Marchman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So students with disabilities deserve the same opportunities as all other students to succeed in higher education. Unfortunately, many face barriers that prevent them from accessing the support that they need. SB 87 provides a solution to these barriers by ensuring clear, consistent, and equitable academic adjustments across all higher education institutes in Colorado. This bill does 5 things. It empowers students with disabilities. One provision is it mandates that higher ed institutes develop and implement policies regarding academic adjustments for students with disabilities. This will guarantee that students with disabilities have the academic support they need to succeed in their studies. The second thing it does is streamline the process. It requires institutions to provide clear guidelines and documentation requirements for requesting academic adjustments, such as IEPs or medical evaluations. This ensures students have an accessible, clear mechanism to voice concerns and seek solutions if their needs are not met. This also supports our institutions rather than burdening them. It allows institutions the flexibility to tailor academic adjustment policies to meet their specific needs while maintaining consistency across the state. This enhances existing support structures within our institutions while avoiding unnecessary financial strain. Institutions can leverage their current resources to meet the new requirements effectively. The fourth thing the bill does is provide long-term economic and social benefits. By improving access to academic adjustments, this bill aims to increase the retention and graduation rates for students with disabilities. The long-term economic benefits of a more inclusive workforce far outweigh any initial costs, making this a smart investment for Colorado's future. And finally, this bill advances equity. The SB 87 requires policies be developed in consultation with disability services and advocacy groups, ensuring the needs of students with disabilities are adequately met and considered. This supports a socially just system where all students, regardless of disability, are given equal educational opportunities and treated with respect. So SB 87 ensures students with disabilities are not only provided with fair opportunities, but are empowered to succeed academically. This bill will improve educational outcomes, boost our workforce, and reduce inequality. I urge you to support this bill today for a stronger, more inclusive Colorado. Thank you for your support.
Senator Rich.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and we did hear this bill in committee, and I certainly understand where the senator is coming from as far as trying to create equity, but I think it's disingenuous of the budget analyst to suggest there's no fiscal impact. There is a departmental difference in the fiscal note, and The University of Colorado has said that this bill would require CU to create and adopt new policies and processes to support students with disabilities, ensuring they receive the necessary academic adjustments. They believe that they are correct and the budget analyst is not, in that this will cost $1.1 million per year. Now, I did speak with the budget analyst. He did come up and I asked him, I said, what if you're wrong and the schools are right? That would show up in a line item in the state's budget, and he had to admit that that was true. It just seems to me that this is a year when the state is facing a budget shortfall, that we should be a little bit more honest about what these costs are. And for that, I'm asking for a no vote.
Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I, too, rise in opposition to the bill. The senator from Mesa County has made a compelling argument, in my opinion. The various responses were tens of thousands of dollars up to more than $1 million to make the tweaks and adjustments to specifically comply with the law. It's not as if this particular issue is being ignored by the institutions of higher education. I'm looking at a 9-page document that is produced by one of those institutions of higher learning that specifically outlines, and if you just go so far as to read the table of contents of this 9-page document, you will see that there are responses to all of the elements required by the law, already existing in policy provided by this particular institution of higher education, down to and including the grievance process. If you don't like the way that you're being interacted with, there is a process for appealing and filing a grievance. So we are kind of tripping over ourselves here, trying to say, yeah, I get it, you're mostly kind of doing what we want you to do, but we want you to do it our way, not your way, and we're going to put it in statute how you must do it. And the result of that is a cost that in a year where we don't have the money, you know, the departmental difference, again, if you look at your fiscal note, the departmental difference on this calls out 74,000 one institution, 1,115,000 per year, and up to 9 FTE to implement the bill, and all in the pursuit of us requiring that they do it our way instead of the way they are already doing it. So I would argue perhaps if you really want to get into the fine tuning of writing policies for institutions of higher education into state statute, you could have that policy conversation, but this year is not the year to do it when we don't have money in the budget to do it. So I would urge your no vote in pursuit of other things that are a higher priority, or the place we should be spending our money this particular session, this particular budget year, instead of on this particular bill. So I will be a no vote. Urge you to consider carefully your vote on Senate Bill 87.
Senator Marchman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I appreciate the comments from my colleagues on the Education Committee. And I will say that higher ed institutes are failing to fully meet the needs of our disabled students. We have persistent gaps in accommodation, accessibility support, and institutional responsiveness. One thing that this bill does that is not in any of the current policies is it requires that upon application, students will be told about reasonable accommodations. So while I do understand that this could increase costs around student disability provision, I say we have unmet needs and we have a workforce shortage and we need all hands on deck. And if those are students who are disabled, who are currently left out of the higher ed situation, of the higher ed system, we'd like to include them. So I would encourage your support on this bipartisan bill. Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, the question before us is the adoption of Senate Bill 87. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and that bill is adopted. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion is for the committee to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. The committee will rise and report.
Senate will come to order. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
March 3rd, 2025. Mr. President, your committee of the whole begs leave to report has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 58 as amended, Senate Bill 87 as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1029 laid over until March 4th, 2025, and retaining its place on the calendar.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the report.
The motion is adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, 1 vacant, the committee of the whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 58 is amended, 87 is amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the counter for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1029 laid over until 3/4/2025 and retaining its place on the calendar. Consideration of resolutions. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of SJR 008.
Senate Joint Resolution 008 by Senators Bridges and Amabile and Representatives Byrd and Taggart concerning designating March 3rd, 2025 as Buy Colorado Day and March 3rd through 10th, 2025 as Buy Colorado Week in Colorado, and in connection therewith acknowledging the significant global contributions of homegrown Colorado brands and businesses.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move SJR 008 and ask that it be read at length.
Mr. Schaffler, please read SJR 008 at length.
Whereas Colorado is home to nearly 700,000 small businesses that employ more than 1.2 million people, and whereas 9 Fortune 500 companies have chosen Colorado for their global headquarters and more are on their way, and whereas Colorado was the first home for products now recognized the whole world over, including Crocs, the Snap Button Western Shirt, Jolly Ranchers, Coors Banquet Beer, the Denver Boot, the Polar Bottle, the Denver Omelet, the Cowboy Hat, the Chipotle Burrito, Outdoor Christmas Lights, Celestial Seasonings Teas, the Root Beer Float, Otterbox, the Slopper, Pop Sockets, and even the Cheeseburger, among others. And whereas the Centennial State's stunning natural beauty and unparalleled access to spectacular outdoor recreation have inspired local entrepreneurs to produce and sell everything from bicycles to fly fishing reels to backpacks, sleeping bags, cylinder stoves, rafts, tents, coolers, campers, and more. And whereas the state's more than 13,000 restaurants and taverns, 69% of which are independently owned and operated, generate more than $20 billion in economic activity and employ 11% of the state's labor force. And whereas Colorado is home to more than 100 craft distilleries, the sixth most of any state, whose products are savored globally, especially in mountain towns stretching from Steamboat Springs to Salida. And whereas the state's legendary brewing industry has cemented our status as the state of craft beer, with more than 400 craft breweries generating more than $2.4 billion in economic impact. And whereas Colorado is one of the nation's top agricultural states, generating $47 billion annually in economic activity and employing more than 195,000 people who produce world-famous cattle, dairy, sheep and lambs, wool, alfalfa, potatoes, cantaloupes, onions, apples, peaches, grapes, and lemons, and more. And whereas Colorado's natural products and consumer packaged goods businesses, or CPG businesses, repeatedly set global examples for conscious capitalism, with the state's annual food manufacturing exports topping $2.3 billion, and whereas the state is home to the first licensed adult-use cannabis brands and retailers in the world, which paved the way for Colorado's groundbreaking business opportunities in the nascent natural medicine market, and whereas the most important thing Coloradans can do to grow their communities, spark innovation, inspire meaning, and create jobs is to spend their money close to home. And whereas the 303 area code was one of the country's first area codes and initially covered the entire state of Colorado, and whereas March 3rd can be marked on calendars as 303, now therefore be it resolved by the Senate of the 75th General Assembly of the State of Colorado, the House of Representatives concurring herein, that we, the members of the Colorado General Assembly, one, recognize that Colorado businesses and brands are one of the many reasons that Colorado is the best state in the country. 2, designate Monday, March 3rd, 2025, or 303 Day to be Buy Colorado Day in the state of Colorado. 3, designate the week of March 3rd through 10th, 2025 to be Buy Colorado Week in the state of Colorado. And 4, urge Coloradans this week, today, and every day to spend their hard-earned dollars at local businesses that benefit us all. Be it further resolved that copies of this joint resolution be sent to History Colorado, Governor Jared Polis, and members of the Colorado's Congressional District Delegation.
303, Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was hoping you'd catch that. Today is 303, colleagues. What better day than today to celebrate Colorado's small businesses, the economic engine of our state, generating more than $225 billion in economic dollars every year, and we have more than 700,000 small businesses here in the state, employing more than 1.2 million people. And I'll just add to that a business from my district, Boom Supersonic. I just wanted to give them a shout out as well. We've got Blue Origin, we've got Salazar Farms. We have the leading per capita, the leading aerospace economy in the entire country. I'm proud to present this day to you all here today.
Senator Amabile.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, as a former small business owner, I am really excited to present this to you all today. I spent 25 years manufacturing an insulated water bottle for bicycling and hiking called Polar Bottle. And we sold to retailers, we sold to distributors around the world. We sold in 37 countries. We sold to Target, we sold to Walmart. We also sold to small independent bike shops all over. I went to Spain once, and I was at a little teeny town, and they had a little teeny bike shop, and they had Polar Bottle there. And that was a big deal. And we spent a lot of effort making sure that all the parts of our product came from Colorado. There was one part that we couldn't source in Colorado. It was this foil lining, and we got those from Utah. We did not want to, we could have saved money by sourcing parts from other places, and we didn't want to. I mean, we were dumb, but really proud that we did it that way because it had more meaning than just money. We hired firms in Denver, in Lakewood, all over the state to help us with creative stuff and blow molding, injection molding, all of the things. So all over the state, people benefited from our little tiny enterprise in Boulder. And also, the outdoor industry here in Colorado helps to feed itself with talent from one place or another. I mean, one of the things was that Celestial Seasonings had an opposite kind of seasonality. So when their temp employees were no longer busy, we needed them as our temp employees. And we created a virtual cycle with businesses around the state. And I wouldn't have wanted my life to have gone any other way. And I encourage you all to buy Colorado.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. Whatever you want to buy, food, drink, products, whatever you want to buy, you can probably find a Colorado company making it. So buy Colorado today, buy Colorado this week, buy Colorado every day. And I want to recognize Grasslands, who's here joining us, who is promoting this whole idea. So thank you all so much, and thanks to all of the small business owners out there driving our economy. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Senators. Any further discussion on this resolution? Very well. Seeing none, the motion is the adoption of SJR 008. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacant, SJR 008 is adopted. Co-sponsors, Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the current roll call be added as co-sponsors.
Seeing no objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Announcements. Would the Senate choir is she still here?
Where are we singing to?
Will the Senate choir not assemble? Will the Senate choir now assemble again? to wish a happy birthday to the good senator from Loveland, Senator Marchman, who celebrated her birthday yesterday.
Okay, are we doing this?
Here we go.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Senator Marchman. Happy birthday to you. May the dear Lord bless you, shower blessings on you. May the dear Lord bless you, Senator Marchman. May the dear Lord bless you in honor of Perry Will.
Hey! Announcements. Senator Kipp.
Thank you, Mr. President. May I have a moment of personal privilege?
Yes, granted. Granted.
Thank you. I would like my Girl Scouts who have shown up today to stand up and be recognized. We have Girl Scout Troop 77008. They're a troop of daisies and first graders from Zach Johnson and Bacon Elementary Schools in Fort Collins. And they are working on their Democracies for Daisies badge. The badge required the girls, the scouts, to learn about local, state, and federal levels of government. So we are excited to have them here. Can we please recognize them?
Senator Kipp.
Thank you, Madam President. May I also have another moment of personal privilege?
Granted.
Thank you. I would like everybody to know that today on the floor we also have Edgar and Amanda from CSG, the Council of State Governments. Would you guys like to stand up? Thank you for being here. And for those of you who don't know, the Council of State Governments, I know we have some new people, is a group that of state legislators. We have some, we have a Western region, we have them all over the United States, but anyway, they bring people together annually and more to have conversations about various topics. It's a bipartisan group. They are going to be having a legislative reception tonight from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Capitol Center, which is 225 East 16th. If you've not been there in the penthouse, it's very cool. You can see the Capitol from there. It's awesome. Also, I want to let people who are in their first 4 years of service, I know there's not that many of us in the chamber who are, but if you're in your first 4 years of service, they have an annual training program called the Western Legislative Academy, or WLA, and the applications for that are due on May 1st. I really recommend applying. You spend a week down at the Broadmoor, like the second week in December, and you'll learn how to do good government. It's a bipartisan group. We need people from both sides of the aisle and people in their first 4 years of service. So please talk to Edgar and Amanda if you would like to learn more. Thank you.
I would like to recognize in the back of the chamber, Senator Brophy is visiting us. Can we all give a round of applause for Senator Brophy? Hey. Senator Kolker.
Yes, Senate Education Committee will be meeting today at 1:30. We have one appointment and one bill. Look forward to seeing you there.
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, the Senate Judiciary Committee will meet this afternoon at 1:30. We will be hearing the following bills in the following orders. House Bill 1138, followed by Senate Bill 155, 171, 126, and House Bill 1114. We will be laying over 10:15 to Wednesday's Judiciary Committee meeting. Thank you all. See you then.
Senator Coleman.
Thank you, Madam President. I request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Members, I have a tribute. State of Colorado Senate and House Representatives convened in first regular session of the 75th General Assembly hereby extend heartiest congratulations to Keystone Symposia. On behalf of myself and the speaker and our chambers, we want to express our appreciation to Keystone Symposia, a 501c3 organization that recently celebrated its 50-year anniversary. Headquartered in Silverthorne, Colorado since '95, Keystone Symposia was founded on the philosophy that integrating academic and industry research in life sciences will drive the innovation and accelerate applications and benefit society. As a part of their mission, Keystone Symposia is dedicated to supporting the next generation of research leaders with scholarships, travel awards, and career development opportunities for students and postdoctoral fellows who comprise approximately 40% of meeting attendees. The quintessential Keystone experience features conferences in retreat-like settings with small group sizes and networking opportunities that collectively create an environment conducive to collegial information exchange. Keystone Symposia holds between 50 and 60 meetings annually at a variety of venues across the globe, with about half of those here in Breckenridge and in Keystone. This group brings world-renowned scientists, including Nobel laureates, to our state through our conferences and contributes to local and state economic development. We want to formally thank Keystone Symposia and express our sincere appreciation for their continued contributions to furthering science and dedication to ensuring Colorado is on the forefront of innovation. Members, Keystone is here. To my right, your left, please stand and be recognized by the chamber. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Madam President.
Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to bring your attention to a copy of the All-Payer Claims Database Annual Report that you received in your email last week. And I wanted to talk about it a bit because this is an incredible resource for comprehensive healthcare transparency in our state. It's an extremely vital, bipartisan supported tool for the state and legislators with over 1.1 billion claims, more than a decade of data, and representing 74% of medically covered lives. Colorado's APCD is a national leader, and other states envy our state's ability to access data and information to lower costs, improve care, and inform and implement policy. So it highlights how, this report highlights how it's being used in a number of important ways, including cutting costs and helping bring billions to Colorado through the Colorado Option and reinsurance programs, eliminating billing surprises to financially protect Coloradans, helping providers make care more affordable and effective, understanding the impact of policy changes on the lives of Coloradans, ensuring healthcare dollars are spent wisely, empowering employers and strengthening insurance markets, maintaining healthy competition in our healthcare sector, and keeping Colorado a national leader in advancing healthcare transparency. And I've worked with them a few times to get some data on regarding wildfire smoke and air quality things that has been really helpful in formulating legislation based on facts and data. So take a look at the report.
Thank you, Senator Cutter. Senator Wiseman.
Thanks, Mr. President. Members, since the beginning of session, we've been talking about the backlog issue at CBI. We actually just did a bill on it. I wanted to announce an event where, if you're interested, starting at 11:30 today in the old Supreme Court room not far, CCASA, the Colorado Coalition Against Sexual Assault, is hosting a town hall involving some folks from CBI, could be 75 to 100 different survivors and advocates, to just talk about this issue, and for those of us who can make time for this, and I hope that we do, to hear some stories from folks who have been personally impacted. I'm hosting along with Reps Wilford and Garcia. So 11:30 to 1 in the old Supreme Court. Please come and engage in the subject. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Wiseman. Senator Pelton R. Feel like we're going to be feeding a couple things in this announcement.
Yeah. That's kind of always what happens this time of the week, isn't it? Thank you, Mr. President. Tomorrow morning again, Bible study down in the basement, 0109 at 7:15. Come down and feed your soul and feed your belly while you're at it. Thank you.
There we go. Any other announcements? Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've spoken with the majority leader and the minority leader and requested to be excused tomorrow.
Overruled. Excellent. All right, any other announcements? Seeing none, Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Colleagues, we'll be keeping the desk open to read bills across the desk later today, so you do not need to return. With that, Mr. President, I move that we recess until 11:30 a.m. today.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Senate will stand in recess until 11:30 today.